Hello, I'm Scott Langdon, creative director and host of God and Autobiography, the podcast. This week, we bring you episode 231, and with it, a slight change in direction with our upcoming programming. If you've been with us since our first episodes dropped in September of 2020, then you already know we've shifted our gears with our programming schedule a couple of times throughout our tenure here. That's because there's always something new to talk about when you talk about God's story. And for us in particular, God's story as told to a philosopher. As we move forward together into this new spiritual era, this new axial age, we here at the podcast are so grateful to have this platform to explore what it means to be in tune with God and to try to live a godly life. We hope you'll continue to join us every Thursday for this ongoing exploration. Here's what's coming up on God and Autobiography, the podcast. I hope you enjoy the episode. Jerry Martin was asked by God to tell God's story. So Jerry wrote down his conversations with God, and they became the book, God and Autobiography as Told to a Philosopher. I was asked by Jerry to help him adapt his book for audio. So 5 years ago, we began creating this podcast. The first 44 episodes of God and Autobiography, the podcast, are the audio adaptation of the book. From there, we realized that even though the last page of Jerry's book was finished, God's story most certainly wasn't. We decided to continue with the podcast format, but to widen its scope, to expand the conversation about what the implications might be for all of us if we're to take this revelation about revelations seriously. So we launched a new format where we would produce different series of episodes that would rotate from week to week in a repertory type of way. Dr. Richard Oxenberg joined Jerry for several episodes in our first series, Two Philosophers Wrestle with God. It's a fantastic dialogue between two philosophers about who God is and what God is asking of us. Another series that became very important to us is the Life Wisdom Project series. Over the course of the last several years, Jerry has had conversations with several philosophers, theologians, and scholars about what God and Autobiography is saying to us about how to live our lives well. Every one of the episodes in this series has been a joy to make and so beautiful to listen to. One of my favorite series we've done has been our What's on Your Mind series, where Jerry and I discuss emails that have come to us as a response to God and Autobiography. People sharing their experiences of God have been both deeply moving and very inspiring. We thank everyone who has written in. All of these series will continue to be available anywhere you get your podcasts, and if you're looking for one of these series in particular, the podcast has been archived by series at our website, godandautobiography.com. So if you're looking for only the Life Wisdom Project series, for example, you can find just those episodes. Or if you just want to listen to the What's on Your Mind discussions between Jerry and me, you can find a list of only those episodes. Just go to godandautobiography.com and have a look around. God and Autobiography as Told to a Philosopher begins with a love story where two people meet, see the light of love in the other, and surrender to that love in a way that transforms them both. In our brand new series, Jerry and Abigail, An Intimate Dialogue, Jerry and Abigail talk about their love story and how, with God at the center of it all, their life together became richer, fuller, and always grounded in love itself. They talk as a married couple, but also as two philosophers who mean to look deeply into this love they have fallen into to find meaning and greater understanding. Here's a sneak peek from their upcoming first episode.
The place to start is obviously at the start of God and Autobiography. And I often tell people about the book, it starts with a love story. And it certainly does. And as somebody said to you at some meeting where I was talking about this, they asked, "Are you the love object?" Right? Somebody came up and, "Are you the love object?" And, well, yeah, okay.
Heavy.
Yeah,
As they say in the counterculture.
yeah. The striking thing for me is, and I tell this, is that I had not believed in romantic love, and yet this was deep, deep heels over head romantic love. I was looking for compatibility, which a lot of sensible people do, and that can make even a good life. If you have the same hobbies and values and priorities and so forth. But no, this went way beyond that. And so I ran, I don't understand this. So I ran to read the relationship books. And I just found all they do is warn you. It's not real. It's not real. It's projection. And I guess that for sure can happen. Many, many things like that happen to people. Nevertheless, this wasn't that. And I remember, it's as if you go to a doctor and the doctor doesn't have any concept of a healthy body, just has a list of sicknesses. And so everything is wall-to-wall illness. And I remember thinking, haven't they ever been in love?
Join us in 2 weeks for our brand new series, Jerry and Abigail, an intimate dialogue, right here on the podcast. Next week, Jerry returns for another edition of one of our most popular series, From God to Jerry to You, and sets the stage for this new dialogue series with Abigail. It's an episode you won't want to miss. We want to take this time to thank you for listening, for writing into us with your stories and questions, and for being with us on this ongoing journey of the discovery of God. I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to God and Autobiography, the podcast. Subscribe for free today wherever you listen to your podcasts and hear a new episode every week. You can hear the complete dramatic adaptation of God and Autobiography as Told to a Philosopher by Jerry L. Martin by beginning with episode 1 of our podcast and listening through its conclusion with episode 44. You can read the original true story in the book from which this podcast is adapted, God and Autobiography as Told to a Philosopher, available now at Amazon.com and always at godandautobiography.com. Pick up your own copy today. If you have any questions about this or any other episode, please email us at questions@godandautobiography.com and experience the world from God's perspective, as it was told to a philosopher. This is Scott Langdon. I'll see you next time.